Well, this is a bit of a different video. Hey there folks, my name's Hetriba. So it's officially October, and I decided it was about time that I took another crack at Drawtober. I know it's more commonly referred to as Inktober, but I'm not quite happy with using that term since it turns out Inktober's creator was a piece of shit. For those who need a refresher, Drawtober is an art challenge spanning over the month of October where you draw something for every day of the month based on a prompt list. A lot of the prompt lists you find can be more general, but some lean towards various themes, like there are various spin-offs like Goretober, Shiptober, OC-tober, there's a lot. For the past few years I've been trying to make my own prompt lists, and this is the first year where I've decided to make my prompt list public, as well as the first year of me recording my process. I'm mostly doing this to kind of help me with making and posting content, and especially with improving my voiceovers, because I'm not super great at recording myself. I'm not very confident whenever I sit down to try and record. If you're at all interested in the prompts I've made, I'll be leaving the link in the description to where you can find them. All I ask is that you try and credit me in some way. You don't have to directly tag me or whatever, just try and give credit or whatever. Day one's prompt was stitches, so for today I drew my OC, Nightmare. Making my prompts public was sort of an afterthought, and I mostly added this one, along with a few of the others on the list, for personal reasons, and I ended up keeping it when I finalized the prompts. Way back in 2018, I had tried making my first prompt list for Goretober and started off with the same prompt using the same character. And then in 2019, I revamped those prompts because I never finished them, and I decided to reuse it on the same day and redraw the picture. That makes this the third iteration of this piece, and therefore it is now tradition. And for anyone who might be curious about 2020, I tried taking a different approach and got a whopping 3 days in before I gave the fuck up. When I was setting up the prompts before I made the choice to post them publicly, I decided to set some loose rules for myself. The main rule that I'm actually referring to is that I decided to give myself a 2-hour time limit for drawing. The other rule I set was that I would try to keep some sort of spooky theme with my art. Very loose. Like, it ranges between drawing my characters with a bit of like a grotesque twist or some kind of gore type thing, or it can just be me drawing my characters with like a pumpkin or in like a Halloween costume. Also, I'm mostly sticking to OCs this month because original stuff personally comes easier for me to make nowadays, so if you came by here to see some fandom-related art this month, you're kinda out of luck. I also tried keeping the prompts relatively vague when I was making them. So, for example, today's prompt is stitches, so you could do something like what I did with the drawing and have your character like falling apart and being sewn together or something. Or you could just take it and be cute and draw like the Animal Crossing villager. So about the actual drawing itself, I don't know how much I can talk about the character, first of all, because he's part of a story that I've been working off and on for 5 years now. He's one of my older OCs. The story is called Mania, and it's just kind of a surreal horror. He's one of the main characters, he's a demon. He's going through some shit, and that's probably the most of what I can tell you guys online right now because I'm trying not to spoil my own story because I really want to make it something that I can animate and post here on YouTube. It's just gonna take a lot of refinement. It's been on hiatus lately, and I've only just gotten back around to it, and I've been working on like changing the designs and rewriting stuff. Regarding my time limit rule, there is one thing that I did allow myself. If I feel like I have royally, irreversibly screwed up a drawing, I have permitted myself one reset, where I can start over from scratch and reset the timer. However, I'm only letting myself use it once per day, so I have to be very careful about it. This drawing, midway through the sketch, I was very close to just completely erasing it and starting over. But I kept going, and you can still see though when I'm doing the line art, there's stuff I'm forgetting or that I decide to add in later. Like, I decided to remove his face because it wasn't looking good. Also, one of my old rules that I kind of scrapped was that I was going to be trying to draw my characters and use colors sparingly. Like, not... I was gonna try and limit the colors or keep them roughly black and white, and I think that kind of stemmed from how I used to do all of these traditionally, but I kind of scrapped that rule, and while I still would like to try and limit colors, I'm not gonna really be enforcing that one, especially because some of them I feel like a more heavy color palette would be better suited. I kind of still went for the desaturated colors for this one. Like, most of my Mania characters already have a very desaturated palette to start with, but I basically just took like a layer of black or white and set it as a color layer, and then I just turned the saturation way down. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the speed paint. I'll be trying to upload these every day of the month if I can. I'm hoping I can get through this month because for the past few years, I haven't been able to finish any Drawtober prompts. With that being said, I'm just gonna leave this here. Thank you all for watching. Take care.